Well, for over 50 years, my next guest has been topping the music charts. As a songwriter, he's written timeless gospel songs like He Touched Me, Because He Lives, and Jesus, There's Something About That Name. He is a musical trailblazer, winning enough Grammy and Dove Awards to fill his entire hometown of Anderson, Indiana. He's also inspiring. He's encouraging, and he's hopeful. I want you to welcome my dear friend, Bill Gaither. Bill, thanks for being here. Great to have you.
Good to have you.
What inspires you when you write music? Because, I mean, you've written so many songs, Bill, that, I mean, they're truly classic gospel songs. They touch, they reach, they speak to people in a way that no one of really the last 100 years has even approximated.
You're very kind. It comes from a lot of different sources, a good sermon, a line in a prayer, maybe a prayer service where God really intervened in a real way, in the woods, holding your baby. You know, one of the lines of Because He Lives was inspired by our third child, wondering if we should really bring a baby into the world in these turbulent times. And we wrote How Sweet to Hold our newborn baby and feel the pride and the joy that He gives, but greater still the calm assurance. Our baby can face uncertain days because Christ lives.
How did you come up with the idea of the Homecoming series? Because that is something that, and I've told you this before, I have known people that if they are believers, they're very nominal believers. They don't show up for church hardly ever. They do not miss a homecoming.
In all fairness, I really wanted to honor some of the pioneers in our field who had worked very, very hard and did it the hard way. We travel in nice air-conditioned buses now with their own beds, bunks, and everything. They traveled in cars, slept in the back seat of cars, and did it the hard way.
It has to be an enormous sense of satisfaction knowing that you inspired, encouraged, coached, and mentored many of these folks that have had their own incredible careers.
You know, we are all like turtles on a fence post. If you see a turtle on a fence post, he did not get there by himself. He had some help. Somebody helped him along the way. And I am a product of that. I am only here because somebody else did it for me.
Some of the new music is called Good Things Take Time. I mean, it's what we've just been talking about.
Yeah.
Tell us about the project, Good Things Take Time.
We live in an instant society. We want instant coffee, we want instant tea, we want instant success. Real good things do take time, takes a lot of preparation, a lot of work, and a lot of study. And Gloria and I are teachers. We taught for the first 10 years of our life. And we're still teachers. We just have enlarged our classroom, but every weekend, with these kids who travel with us, they're all young and they keep me young. You know, we're trying to say, take it slowly, think it through, think on the long term. So this is one of the tunes on there, one of the new tunes that we wrote. Good things take time, even though there are times when it gets rough. Hang in there.
What was the turning point from being school teachers living in Indiana to suddenly finding yourselves impacting the world and literally gracing the stage of the largest arenas in the whole planet?
Governor, as a kid, I wanted to do music in the worst way. And after I was out of high school, I tried to do it and failed miserably. It was the best year of education in my entire life. When I went back to college, majored in English, and met this beautiful girl where we were both teaching school. But I never totally gave up my dream, even though I wasn't out doing it myself. I was writing tunes, and the groups would come through Indiana. Gloria was a great cook, and we'd invite them in the house, and she'd feed them real well, and then we'd get around the piano. And so they've just written this brand new song. I was a great song plugger. I mean, to tell you, after Gloria's food and me around the piano, it was a great, great time. And pedaled a lot of our early tunes. And the last 3 or 4 years of teaching, my night job overtook my day job. I hated to leave the classroom. I loved teaching. And I love to tell people we still live in the same house that we lived in when we taught school. We'll have it paid off next year, and we're kind of excited about that. But to do it as long as we have done it and have this much fun. I met a kid the other day at the airport, and the dad said, "Son, I want you to meet Bill Gaither." The kid looked at me and he said, "Bill Gaither, are you still alive?"
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Not only are you very much alive, but we are so glad you are, because you are one of the most beloved Americans. Thank God for you, Bill. What a joy just to be able to say, I know you. I mean that. America fell in love with the voice of my next guest in July of 1986 when she sang the Star-Spangled Banner on ABC's Statue of Liberty TV special. Platinum-selling records, sellout concerts, 5 Grammy Awards, and much more. She recently released her stunningly honest autobiography. It's called The Voice. I want you to welcome one of my favorites, somebody I've been looking forward to talking to for a long time, Sandi Patty. Sandi, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
It's my honor. Hi, everybody. Hi.
You got a lot of fans out here.
So sweet. Trey, band, just awesome. Really wonderful.
You came from a musical family, so I guess it was sort of natural that music would be part of your life.
Music has been a huge part of my life. My dad was a minister of music. My mother, a fabulous pianist. So I grew up in the church, grew up singing. That was our language. A lot of people, you know, were athlete families. We were a singing family.
Did you sing solos when you were little?
My dad said I sang my very first solo when I was about 2.5 years old. It was Jesus Loves Me in a little church in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, which my husband and I are now back in Oklahoma City. But I was really a shy kid. Words were very, very hard for me. And I found music, or music found me.
I want to tell you, I read the entire book, The Voice.
You're so kind to do that.
Well,
Thank
no,
you.
I got into, I couldn't quit. It's a powerful book because you're honest. And you talked very honestly and openly about painful things.
Yeah.
And one that I know is painful, but you talked about it. And that is that when you were just a little bitty kid, your parents left you with a lady that everyone thought to trust.
Yes.
And you were sexually abused by her.
Yes. She felt that her pleasure was more important than my innocence. And at 6 years old, you don't know what to do with that kind of trauma. You don't have the language for it. And I felt if I would tell someone, if I spoke up and used my voice, I would be the one to ultimately get in trouble. So I just kept it silent for 30 plus years.
There were probably things that affected your adolescence, your young adult life, all because of that incident that happened when you were 6 years old. Did you think about that at the time?
I felt like all of my life I had pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah.
I didn't know that those pieces all went together and told a story. I didn't know how they were related. I just felt like I was damaged goods. So I believed all of those things. It didn't occur to me that she could be wrong. It more occurred to me, oh, she's just underlining how I already feel. So accepting that God loved me for me, that was a hard one for me. I could tell people about it.
Yeah.
But it was hard for me to see that that was true for me as well.
There was a guy that heard you sing, and he thought you were pretty good. His name was Bill Gaither.
Yeah.
He's pretty good, too.
He's pretty good, too. You know, I went to Anderson University in Anderson, Indiana. Bill and Gloria Gaither lived very close there. And so they would hear me sing around campus. My parents knew them. They went to college, you know, together. But as they began to hear me, and I would work at his studio quite a bit, one day he called me and said, Sandi, we're looking for a backup singer to go out with us on our arena tours. Would you be interested? He said, wow, Bill, let me pray about it. Yes. You know, I mean, there's some things that are just
quickest prayer you've ever had.
An easy answer.
When was the turning point in Sandi Patty's career that it went from being back there 20 feet from the main microphone to filling the arena?
I think the Statue of Liberty weekend was so unusual. You would never think of the Star-Spangled Banner as being sort of this career-breaking song. But I recorded it because they were we were raising money for the Ellis Island Foundation. Someone said, why didn't you do the Star Spangled Banner, put a whole brand new verse to it? So I recorded it. David Clydesdale, who arranged it, I said, please don't write me above a B flat. And when I looked at the chart, it was a D flat. I said, what happened? He said, my pencil slipped. So, you know, it's when you're handwriting all the charts. He said, don't worry, you're never gonna have to sing it again outside this recording. So I was home, Liberty Weekend, watching it like everyone else. Suddenly, Peter Jennings comes on the screen. He says, we're gonna wrap up the whole weekend with this little song from a little housewife in Anderson, Indiana, and played the Star Spangled Banner. And
you didn't even know it was going to be on?
No idea. The phone started ringing. It was my mother. Then I had to put her on call waiting, you know, because it was call waiting.
Not nice to put your mother on call waiting, Sandy.
And people started calling and saying, hey, you're on TV. And I refer to it as the best gig I ever had because I was home.
Yep.
And that happened, and the Johnny Carson people watched it. And he invited me to be on the show that week, and it was just kind of one of those surreal things.
One reason I hope people get this book, if they don't do it for anything else, is because there are a lot of people who have done things they're deeply ashamed of.
Yeah.
They did things that hurt other people.
Yeah.
And they don't think God can forgive them, and they don't think other people will forgive them.
Yeah.
And they feel like it's over.
Yeah.
It's it.
Yeah.
This book, your story, reminds us that God's not finished with us until He makes that decision.
Until He makes that call.
And that's...
And He is the God of second chances.
Yeah.
And the God of new beginnings. There is restoration that has to happen and restitution on our part.
Yeah.
There is an openness that we have to allow people, whether it's my kids or whether it's a church that I worked with, to be able to say to me some of the ways that I hurt them. But there comes a point where there's restoration closure, that it is okay to leave those things at the foot of the cross and move on and let God do a new thing.
Well, the book is absolutely magnificent.
Thank you for reading it.
Thank you for writing it. It has blessed my life, as it will anyone who gets a copy of this book.